Welcome, everybody, to our coverage of the 2021 San Francisco Safari. You are watching our MPO Feature Card Round 1 Mid-9 coverage provided by Sky High Smoke and Accessories and Above Ground Level Discs. Providing commentary today will be myself, Cameron McKilling, and my good buddy, Jad Rehan. But before we hop into the coverage, let's check in with how our players did in the front nine. You can see Leaf Swenson shot a bogey-free 5-under through the first 9 holes. Jesse Kerfeld 1 over with a couple birdies, a double bogey and a bogey. Corey Murrell 1 bogey and 4 birdies, taking him to 3 under par. And Juan X Bernal shooting 6 under par with 7 birdies and 1 bogey. An impressive start here for a majority of the card. Let's see how the mid-9 goes. And we are jumping back into the action here at hole 10, a 361-foot par 4. This is the first of the temp holes that we are going to be seeing. These holes for the next 9 holes are not a part of the regular Golden Gate Park layout. This is special holes that are only played for the San Francisco Safari Tournament. This is a correct flyover. These flyovers will be correct for these temp holes here. So very very tough, but not super long par 4.
Yeah, why is this a par 4?
I think it's a par 4 just because the way you have to play the hole. I mean, realistically, you want to be right here, somewhere on the road. That's a little far forward even, because then you have to turn the corner and get another 250 feet or so up the hill to have a putt at the basket.
Okay, so we got like a true dog leg here.
Yep.
And so they're throwing straight and then hopefully straight again if they're in the right spot.
Yep, and that is actually going to be out of bounds right there for Leaf. There is, along the left side of this path, there is a rope that delineates in bounds or out of bounds, heading leftward.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
That's a great shot there, though, from Corey. Working its way up the hill still. And I don't believe there is a Mando. I heard talks on day one that this first tree you see off the tee pad, the big one on the road, was a Mando. I don't believe it is. It's just really hard to try to take the route that goes inside of it.
Yeah, so that's for sure what makes it the par 4 then, is that Mando.
Again, it's not really a Mando. You could play
Gotcha.
around
Okay.
it. It's just the line is almost impossible.
Right.
The play is to be somewhere between here and that little sign. Or those little sit-up boards that are inclined sit-up boards, whatever. I read the sign. I don't remember what it said. Great upshot. Yeah, you can see just kind of almost impossible to get up here to where this spot is from where the tee pad is.
Jesse cleaning up there. Nice. Juan's up there.
Ooh. Might have tracked into the basket if that branch didn't get in the way.
Nice birdie from the knee.
Excellent birdie for Juan Bernal. Juan X Bernal. I don't know what the X stands for.
I love the level change there from Juan. Rather than he probably knows what he's best with and he knows what he's comfortable with. He knows he'd rather be on a knee there rather than in a squatting position maybe.
Right.
Great self-awareness.
Yeah, definitely knows his own game. Corey in with a birdie here as well.
It's a good tap in to get back.
And Leaf with another bird. And we are going to move right along to hole 11, our second temp hole. A 295-foot par 3. This one's pretty much straight ahead of you. There's no OB on this hole. The only thing you really want to worry about is snagging one of these stray trees in the middle of the fairway. But this one's pretty straightforward. Just throw something Maybe out to the right around the trees to hyzer in, or you could even go straight at it with a flip-up shot with like a putter or a mid-range.
Yep, just trying to miss that tree there, that one tree dead in the middle and the back. You can go left of it, you can go right of it. You just got to miss.
Yep, and we'll probably see at least one forehand. I'm sure Corey will go with the forehand play.
Okay.
He seems to be more comfortable with those. If you've ever watched any of the Champs versus Chumps matches that Central Coast has done, Corey, there was a lot of forehands in that, I know. I've watched enough of those rounds. But I feel like I have a pretty good idea of Corey's game.
Juan goes a little low there, gets the good skip up.
Yeah, he's definitely circle's edge.
Straight at it for Leaf.
Straight at it. Straight into it? Not quite. A little low. It looked really good off the tee pad, though.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Yep, lined up for that forehand around the outside.
Looking to match them.
Oh.
Gets caught up a little high.
Yep. He needed to just be a foot lower. Those branches swatted him down. Whoopsh.
This is one Jesse wants to get back.
Going with what looks like it might be a rock. Maybe rock 3.
A little bit of turnover, a little bit high. He'll still give himself a look.
Favorable tree kick. I think that ended up helping him in the long run.
Nicely executed there from Corey. Great run for 2.
Yep. Long putt.
Leaf tapping in a little high, a little right there, but it falls. He's not mad.
Easy 2 for Leaf. Fairly easy looking 2 here as well for Juan. Textbook.
Battling.
Yep, managing to stay 1 stroke ahead of Leaf here. Corey going to take a par. And Jesse going to tap in his par here as well. And we are going to move right along to hole 12, a 328-foot par 3. No OB again here on this one, but the basket is kind of behind these trees and up on this little stump here by this fallen. It's not really a stump, it's like the middle section of a tree that they just kind of left right there. But a big hyzer. Want to be pretty overstable to get yourself far enough left to really have a putt at that basket, because there isn't really a line down the left side. You kind of have to go down the road and then fade in towards it.
Looks like a ripping headwind, judging by those pink flags at the tee pad.
Yep, you can see.
And you can see it right there.
Yep, the polo field is in front of us. And
in such a blessed kick right there when you're in first.
How favorable. Look at that. A big smile.
He knows it. Yeah, that headwind is ripping. It turned it over a little right there.
Yep, the next 3 or 4 holes is where the wind was really playing tough for these players, especially coming straight towards and playing right along that big horse polo field. For the next couple holes, makes it really difficult out here. The ocean wind comes ripping right up into the park.
Is this too far?
It's very far. I mean, it's safe, but it is. Past Dylan, he had to turn around, and he's out there pin deep, if not a little bit further back than the pin.
Juan probably would have been right back there joining him had he.
Yeah, you can see the wind. That one did not. It looked like it faded a little.
Faded early, maybe overcompensating for the headwind.
Either that or it pushed him up and caused him to stall out just a little bit. Yeah, you can see the wind just turned him over right away.
Tough luck here.
Ooh, makes it out into the open. but only about 20 feet of forward progress there.
Yeah, that was not supposed to be his miss there. If you are going to miss, you are going to want to be back where Leaf is.
Yeah, either miss long and just down the road, or this isn't a terrible spot for Corey. Footing's kind of bad, but he is able to just lay up from there. See the jackets coming out.
Another layup.
Dudes are starting to layer up. That wind not only was blowing the discs around, but it cuts right through your clothes. You can see.
Oof,
Oh,
getting the nose up there.
wow. That lifted like 10 feet up into the air.
Correcting.
Very unfortunate bogey for Corey. He even made the safer, smarter play on throw number 2 to put himself under the basket. Tough double bogey there for Jesse. A par here for Leaf.
I mean, this
a
hole was
solo
huge for
bird.
Juan.
Yep. That is a big swing there. Going to get a 2-stroke lead on Leaf.
The path to the top is often long and difficult. With many hills for you to climb and obstacles to overcome. And at times, the journey may seem never-ending. But why stop before you reach the top? With a little hard work, determination, and some help from your friends, you too can reach the next level. Above ground level discs, elevate your game.
And we are back from that quick commercial break at hole 13, a 200-foot par 3, one of the shortest holes we have seen yet. And while it may look pretty straightforward and easy, I think this big fat headwind ripping across the polo field straight at us is going to make things a little bit tougher for everybody.
It's going to be tougher, but it's still definitely going to be one that feels like a must get.
Oh, yeah, you have to birdie this one. This is one of those gotta gets at 200 feet.
Ripping winds, though.
Yep. Absolutely tearing.
I don't know if I've ever played disc golf in winds heavier than that.
I have, but only at a course that was like right on the water, like at the
Fair
beach. But the only time I've ever seen wind that strong was when I was like at the ocean's edge and I was trying to play disc golf. But this is pretty intense.
It holds there for a while, and that's going to be just great.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, if that was something very overstable or if he just had a very confident throw there.
I was curious at that as well. A little bit of an early release.
Just kind of slipped out on him. Runner in the park. That happens a lot here at Golden Gate Park. It's a very big park. The disc golf course is only a very small section of this very, very, very big park in the middle of San Francisco.
And that was just great execution there by Jesse. Straight down, nose down.
Corey got to get up to the bucket. Good play. A little bit of an uphill putt, but makeable if he can get the wind to calm down for just long enough.
Good cleanup.
Good putt.
A little bit of headwind, but you definitely want to get that every time.
Yeah, might even be a little bit further away, or an identical look. Manages to get it that time though. For a par. It's a tough one to miss.
They've done a really good job too.
Leaf finishing up there is just great. That's what he needed.
Yep, able to make up a stroke there on the leader.
I still haven't had the full experience in this course yet.
I think Dylan forgot his camera was rolling there while he was talking to Corey, but we got some of that secret dialogue there for you guys. Some behind the scenes, secret cameraman convos. Moving on to hole 14, a 295-foot par 3. It's not a super dog-leggy right, but it's a big sweeping right. So you almost want to be able to ride down that road all the way down here to get into the green, or you can hang it more into the open space straight ahead of you where there are more trees and have it crash back to the left there.
Seems like a very tough get with a lot of late trees in your way, yeah?
Yeah, there's just a lot of trees just pretty much anywhere you would want to throw. Wind kind of pushed him, and the wind is pushing you back towards the right. So you want to keep it low enough and far enough to the left to go right down the path. And that wind kind of makes it really hard to do both of those things. That was that's the ideal spot to try and skip it at. But you can see here the wind, as soon as he got off the ground, just pushed him right into that little bush.
Is he going over the top here?
He was thinking about it for just a second.
It looked like he was lining to go up and over Anheuser, but must be a line over there.
Didn't get the skip there. So they were saying in years past, the tee pad on this hole has been about 20 feet further back, which opened it up for the big Anheuser play.
Okay.
Out up to the left where you saw Juan kind of looking. But where the tee pad is here, kind of makes it a little more difficult.
Nothing crazy here out of our lead card.
No, this is a tough hole. Out in the open with a look at the basket.
A little look. I mean, Leaf with his good round going here to execute on that was really a confidence booster, I'm sure.
Yeah, Leaf will have a putt. It's probably a 40-footer. Might be extra tough with how windy it is over here on this hole. But it's a putt we've seen Leaf make today already. Good ups there. Just trying to get up to the basket and buy an easy putt. Great bid from Corey. Favorable roll, too. Sat down pretty quickly for him.
Yeah, it was a good miss.
Huge.
Definitely.
That's a big par save.
Helping him keep up with Juan a little bit here.
Yep, we're going to check that out again on this Dark Ace cash cam. Really solid par save.
Probably what, right at circle's edge maybe?
Maybe just outside, but he doesn't like to step putt, so it makes it a little harder for me to judge if he's truly at 35 or 33 feet, because he's just going to stand still and throw it in like that every time. Couple bogeys, one par there to join Leaf from Juan. Hole 15 is a 226-foot par 3. This entire corral that we're flying over right now is going to be out of bounds, and the basket here is actually going to be pretty much right where that the first yellow concrete hole is. This basket for today is about 30 to 40 feet closer than you're seeing it now, almost right at the fence. Maybe
I bet
3
that makes
feet
the
away.
hole much tougher.
Yeah, it does make it really tough because if you
More apt to go long.
you have to. You can see it right there. You have to go long if you don't want to really risk being in the hazard because it's
Right.
not playing as a true out of bounds. If you land in the corral, you can putt from in there. But with
Okay,
an
yeah,
extra
it's a
stroke.
hazard.
And I didn't mention it before. There is a mando that forces you to go out over the corral at all.
Okay.
So you'll see it when we turn and look right there. That little white sign on that tree right there is a mando. You have to stay
Okay.
inside of the sign. If you miss the mando, there is a drop zone. There's a little flag on the ground there.
Juan just
Oh!
playing right at it. He says, I don't care. This is a skinny little disc. It's going to get through those holes of that fence. Nice execution there.
Yeah, you know what's funny? There's so much more space in that, that you have to get through than the thickness of the disc.
Right.
But it comes into play way more often than you would
Certainly.
think.
A lot of pretty good shots there.
Yep, Corey can go with the forehand here. Pretty much going straight at it.
This looks good. Oh,
Oh.
goodness.
That
Oh,
had to
goodness.
have been on chains at least.
Goodness.
I don't know if it would have caught and stayed, but that was going to have hit some metal. Good safe bid, making sure not to put too much gas on it, so he doesn't end up going long into the hazard.
It's a
which
good bid,
is
but
still a
ultimately you wanna get one
possibility
of
from
those.
back over there.
From a knee again.
He wanted to make sure he wasn't too high, so he couldn't run it long into the hazard.
Certainly.
That'd be rough to take an extra stroke that close to the basket. At least on your birdie putt or everyone looking like they 3 pars and a bogey here. Oh no, yep, a bogey for Corey after missing his putt from the hazard.
Listen up, man. Sky High Smoking Accessories, they have the largest selection of glass in Southern Oregon. With new inventory coming in every day, they have all your smoke accessory needs. From basic lighters to intricate vaporizers and all the swag to go with it. You can stay up to date with Sky High Smoking Accessories on their Facebook page. Shop local and buy local. Sky High Smoking Accessories in Medford on South Central Avenue across from U.S. Bank. Must be 21 years of age or older to enter.
And we are back from commercial break at hole 16, a 210-foot par 3. And we do not have drone coverage for this hole. And this is actually one of the holes that was only in this layout for this first day. Pretty short, just a nice, simple 210-foot hyzer. It's mostly about speed control, in my opinion, because you don't want to throw something that's going to go long left. If you are still traveling past the basket, there's a pretty good chance you could go 50, 60, even further down the hill to the left.
Leave getting caught up in the bushes there. You have a look, but it'll definitely be tough to get in there.
A tough lie, but again, you can see, and he's traveling. He luckily hit, that ground skip could have slowed him down enough, but if you have enough speed still traveling past the basket right there, you're gone down that hillside. Just all the way down to the grass. You could get stopped by a tree about halfway, but it's a big fall from there.
Looks a little early there. He might be going. Ooh.
Oh,
Did he just hit the
ground did same
basket?
he might have tapped the underside of the basket.
Still getting a skip. Corey here lining one up.
Looks like a putter. Something slow. Probably stable. Probably overstable. Sorry. It's looking good. Very similar spot to Leaf.
Hopefully.
Kind of in that bush over there.
Might help as a backstop.
Oh, he's pretty far underneath this thing.
That feels good to get.
No problem at all. Look at Dylan's face. We're going to check that out again on this Dark Ace cash cam. Uphill.
Probably playing outside circle's edge for sure.
Yeah, that might have been just inside, but it definitely is more. Even at 33 feet, that's probably closer to a 45-footer. At least the way, how much, force you got to put into it from down there. A little closer up the hill. Didn't get nearly as far down the hill as Juan. Nails it, even with the wind.
Yeah, that's great execution in the wind, especially if that was headwind. Putting uphill in headwind is not going to be easy. You're going to be way more likely to expose the nose of that disc. That's a great putt right there for birdie.
That was very high up. Maybe an inch from hitting top band. Ooh.
He'll collect a
roll.
3.
Yep, did. Still an easy putt. Oh, sneaky.
Sneaky.
Moving back out into the open, we had a little bit of a walkout here. We're over at hole 17, which is our 8th temp hole. It is a 676-foot par 4. The basket is all the way back here. It's actually going to be in between these little trees you see here, kind of framed up between those. And right here is tournament director Andy Rothschild, who is didn't have a basket over here, so he was helping get the angle for our flyovers for Corey, with Corey there.
Any OB on this hole at all?
I believe very far left, almost out of play, but there's a line of flags along that tree line over there.
And that one just looked burned. That was nice.
Yeah, that was a crush.
Definitely one players probably want to get. Definitely don't want to take a bogey on this hole.
Nope, definitely not. It is kind of interesting. You can see there's a lot of open space here, but we're tucked away from a lot of the wind in this little, they call it Mark's Meadow here is where we're at.
Wind definitely would play a factor here on this open hole if there was.
Yeah, there is some wind. We are in San Francisco still, but this is quite a bit different than the last couple holes we saw. And this is the first place in a while, if not all round, where you get to see these guys kind of just unload for max distance. It was ripped on. It turned over a little bit too much for him.
Definitely was ripped on for a forehand. That could have been money.
Yeah, a lot of power behind it. He gets a lot of snap on the disc. Looking good.
That'll putt for sure. You're definitely happy with that. Corey from a similar spot.
Very similar play.
Maybe a little short here.
Oh.
Long, but
yeah,
short on the line.
Apparently there's some OB back over there. Dylan had to run over and check for him. He was inbounds.
You'll collect an easy par from there.
Yeah, there's a little walking path that cuts over there.
Juan looking to protect his lead here. Chooses the wide play. Obstructed.
Oh, tough under those low-hanging branches.
Close, but obstructed. Leafs licking his chops here, but
ends up in a very similar spot. Maybe a little less obstructed by that tree, but same tree. Still some overhead branches right there.
a little Anheuser putt. That's a good bid.
The height on. Got the line down, but hard to get the height.
Leaf wanted that, and it probably felt pretty good out of his hand, too.
It looked good out of his hand. So did that.
So did that. I agree.
Jesse
getting the solo birdie there on the card definitely is something to smile about.
2 birdies in a row for Jesse. Looking to turn his favor around here. A couple pars for the rest of the card here. It is kind of hard in their defense to go from throwing a lot of wooded, tight shots to having to throw something big and open. And no flyover for this one, and you will see very quickly why we are not able to get a flyover for this hole. You're throwing underneath that tree that he just threw at, and then you're going straight uphill about 45 feet at a like a 45-degree angle up the hill.
Perfect drive here probably skips off the ground, yeah?
Yep, skips off the ground and manages to work up. You see Dylan looking from above the basket and looking down at where those guys are landing and hitting that tree. So kind of tough to get.
This looks a little better.
Yep, that's up there. He'll have a bid outside the circle. Ooh, the little branch looks like it caught him from rolling back. That's good. That's the best placement, and he knows it.
Yeah, nicely executed for sure.
Yeah, this is a tough little par 3. It's hard to get yourself into a scoreable position if you.
A lot of obstructed putts.
Yep. And just even getting into this green is so tough from underneath it and behind those trees like that.
Getting up there, maybe not quite as hard as he wanted. Maybe he didn't want to roll away. Who knows? An excellent birdie from Juan.
Right side just barely catches enough chains to stick in. We're going to check that out again on this Dark Ace cash cam. He
holding on there.
Rolled for a second, almost made it back out. It looked like the disc wanted to. Good bird there from Corey.
Get some birdies, boys.
Back to the regular course.
And Dylan is right. This is the last of our temp holes. We're going to tap in here from Leaf. And that'll be the end of our mid-9. And it's back to the regular course for the back 9. Taking a look at the mid-9 scorecard, you can see the race is still pretty tight there between Juan and Leaf, who were able to break away from Corey and Jesse here in the last 9 holes. Juan and Leaf both bogey-free through the last 9. They are neck and neck, very tightly packed at the top there. You can join the flock on Patreon at patreon.com/BDubPro, or you can go to our shop at birdwatchpro.com and pick up some sweet BDub Pro gear. You can also make sure to follow us on all of our social medias at BDub Pro on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And while you're here on our YouTube channel, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and also the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming content. That is going to do it for the mid-9. We will see you guys with our round 1 back 9 coverage. Peace.
Peace.